Okay, we welcome you all to our show today. And today we'll be talking about a very crucial topic. We'll be talking about how to raise a child to become a problem solver to his or her generation. How to raise a child with problem solving skills. How to raise a child that will be able to identify a problem in his or her environment and work hard to provide solution to that very problem. So stay tuned and enjoy yourself. And the first question would be going to Miss Ifoma. Could you please tell us what a problem solving skill is?
Yeah, um, problem solving skill is all about someone having the ability to source out solutions to problem within his environment. And here we are talking about children, and we need to start early to teach these children how to solve these problems, because definitely they are going to face the world squarely tomorrow. And starting with small simple tasks, you teach them how to solve those problems before they get to the complex ones. Problem solving skills allows you to reach out for goals and aspire how to get to those goals. I think I've really done said something about it.
Thank you very much.
So I would say problem solving skills are set of skills in children that helps them identify problems. When they identify these problems, they analyze these problems. After analyzing these problems, they go on to make research concerning these problems. And then obviously they come up with solutions for the problem. For example, when Elon Musk mother, Elon Musk, the founder of Tesla cars, when she was asked if she knew her son would be this great, she said her son has always been a problem solver, even when he was quite little.
Yeah.
So he had to like say, okay, if everybody's using cars, if everybody that is making cars that is using cars that have fuel, how can I make cars that do not use fuel? And I also make them very exotic and attractive so that they catch people, and then
People's
it becomes
attention,
it becomes everybody's dream that okay, I must have a Tesla. So we ought to raise our children to become problem solvers, that when they identify things in the community, they're able to see it and say, okay, this is a problem, I need to analyze this and I need to make research, how do I solve this problem? And a problem solver is somebody that makes money, because once you're a problem solver, you're somebody that is a critical thinker.
Yeah.
You're somebody that is creative.
Yeah.
I think also in the Bible, when they were saying Solomon, people were looking for him up, and he was being sought after. People were coming for him to for him to manage their problems or settle their problems. Solomon was a very good problem solver, and that's why we
Yeah.
could see that Solomon was very wealthy. So we all need to raise our children to be solvers. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that wonderful input. Okay, I would say that problem solving skill is a skill that allows children to solve problem. Not only allowing them to solve problem, it also enables them to identify, because it's something you noticed. When you notice that there is a problem and like analyze it first, think of the possible way out. You understand? You'll be able to provide solution to that very problem. And it is said that children with problem solving skills, that they go far in life. You know, they are not limited. They don't take no for an answer. You understand? They always believe that there is still more out there. And they are
Definitely.
very resilient.
Yes.
Like when you see a child that is a problem solver, you don't limit them. Even your house alone cannot even contain them. They will always like have very inquisitive. They ask questions. They want to know why this is this. Why this is this. Is it not like this or the other way? So it is a skill that is highly. And let me tell you, even in the world, like in a working environment, once you are a problem solver, you'll be highly sought after. You wouldn't want to get an employee that will just come and be there without making an input or adding anything to your organization. So it's something that everybody should start working on. It's something that every child should know about. It's something that every parent like work on and make sure that you imbibe that skill in your child, because once you see a child with a problem solving skill, that child is always
Different.
that child will always what stand out. So thank you very much. Now we'll be moving to the next question, and the next question today we'll be tackling is, why do children need to have problem solving skills? Now we know what problem solving skill is. Why do we need it? Why do we need to raise children with problem solving skills? Miss Ifoma.
Okay. Wow. It is said we are in the 21st century, and these children, they are growing in this age, and a lot of things are going on in their mind, a lot of things they are really trying to find answers to a lot of things. And it is also said that when you don't get children informed, they get misinformed. So it is necessary you teach these children this skill, because if you don't, they will definitely sort out ways. We have the internet, we have a lot of things to make them solve their problems. And if they are not taught, if they don't follow the right track, if they don't follow the right route to problem solving skills, to solve problems, you find out that they will miss out in the society. So it is really important you teach these children. Imagine, just like Mrs. Shika mentioned, imagine Elon Musk's mom, yeah, didn't teach him, or maybe she didn't observe it early in life and follow up with it. Who knows? Probably you never can tell.
No,
Tesla today.
would have still been stuck with the
Few
vehicles that
problems.
uses for
So
till this time.
it's important we imbibe these skills into our children early enough so that they can grow up to being independent, resilient adults tomorrow. Thank you.
So there's great need for us to raise our children with problem solving skills. Just like they said, someone that is a problem solver will be highly sought after. You just be different, you'll be highly, and when you come into an environment, you can easily spot the problem. And then when you spot the problem, you'll be able to create the solution. A problem solver is not somebody that will be employed and that person will just, okay, they'll just be like, okay, let me go by my job. No. A problem solver is going to come up with different techniques, strategies on how to make it better, because they just know that they need to solve problems. Raising children, they said any skill you didn't start raising children at the age of 5, you have missed it. So most times, we need to start raising our children early enough to be problem solvers. For example, in your houses, you are saying, okay, what are we eating for dinner? And you're just like, oh, we're going to eat gari for dinner. Why don't you, or maybe the child comes to ask you, what are we eating for dinner? Based on what you have, last week we talked about teaching children about budget. Now, based on what you have in the house, can you advise them to come up with ideas or things that you guys will eat? Because you are putting their critical thinking skills to use. Do you understand? But if you have to make every decision for them, then they're solving no problem. And then our parenting is not raising children for the 21st century. Because now we ought to understand that we need to raise children for the 21st century. There are many children, there are people out there, same skills, there are many doctors. The difference is now when your own comes out, is there a difference? What is the difference in your own? Like the other day I saw Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala's son, a report where he did a surgery with he was the first person to do a surgery with like
Technology,
a robot, with technology. Now that made him stand out. Of course he's going to be called again
Have so many
and
doctors.
say, okay, that he'll be called again and they'll ask him to do the surgery again because he did that, and then his name will ring bells. So we ought to understand that there's competition, therefore there's need to make our children quite distinguished. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think you've done justice to that. I will quickly say that the problem-solving skill is an essential aspect of child development. Any child that has that problem-solving quality would stand out. All these inventors we hear and talk about today, take for instance the man that invented bulb, Thomas Edison. So it's because the child saw that being in a dark environment is not suiting. And the child like started thinking, the little Thomas Edison started thinking of way to illuminate the whole place. Why should we be staying in darkness? Is there no way out to this? And from the records, we learned that he tried severally. He tried severally and he didn't give up. And because he is very determined to solve a problem, that is why I said that children with problem solving skills, they are resilient. They don't give up easily. We learned that he tried severally, but he didn't give up. He believed that he could do it. That is why he kept on practicing, doing so many tests, trial and errors, trial and failures, and he was able to come up with the light bulb we use even up to date. So it is a very essential quality. It is a very essential skill that every child should have. Next question for today is, Mrs. Chika, how do we raise children with problem-solving skills?
Okay. I think the best way we can raise children with problem-solving skills is, first, we shouldn't think for them. We shouldn't think for them. We should always ask our children, once they come to us, even when they come to us with problems that they had in their classroom, first ask, what is the problem? Then you try to analyze it with them. Then they make a research concerning it. For example, it's even wrong when children are being given home packages or assignments and then it's been done for them. If they are able to identify the problem, then you seek to analyze the problem. Once you analyze the problem, you come up with solutions, creativity, and teach them that there's need for teamwork. Because most of the time I always tell people, I think Mark Zuckerberg wasn't the only person that worked on Facebook. He had to do that with a team, like 4 other persons. So you need to raise that skill in your children. Once you're able to, they should identify a problem, they should know how to deal with it, they should analyze it, and they should come up with solutions, working into it. That's why there's the 4 C's of education, which is creativity, collaboration, critical thinking, and can I remember the last one? Communication. Thank you. So with those 4 C's in education, you are actually raising your children to become
problem
solvers in the future. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Ifoma, what do you have to say?
Okay. How parents can develop this skill in their children? You can start by playing creative games at home. You can start by making sure that these games, it's not just playing them, it's about teaching while playing. Be intentional about it. Because when they just play, they may not be able to source out
The reason
behind playing this game.
Yeah.
So it's best when you're playing with them, let them know that, for instance, in the chess game, the reason the king had to leave to fight the battle on the board is because probably the pawns are no longer there.
Okay.
So they should be able to know this is
the
reason things happen, how it should be done. They should be able to figure out those things and let them give you options. Let them give you thoughts. What do they think? What do you think about this? Don't decide for them, just as we've always said. Do not decide for them. Give them the opportunity to think out the solutions to most of the problems at home.
Okay, I would say.
Can I add this? Sorry, Miss Nancy. I think you should first ask your children. I think there are like 6 steps. First, ask your children what is the problem. Then ask your children, when you ask them what is the problem, then you can ask them, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Give them that option of what do you want to do? If it's in your power, what should you do? Then also ask them what will happen if you do this, so that they can weigh the pros and the cons. then ask them what will happen if you do this. For example, when your child comes back from school and they says somebody fought me today, it's a problem. Okay, so let's analyze it. Why did that person fight you? What
What
transpired between both
person?
of you? And then you ask the person, okay, you've analyzed it. If it's your child's fault, you dig into the situation. You don't just tell your child, when you see that person in school tomorrow, kill that person. They beat you and you came back or something like that. You have to first analyze it and say, okay, what is the problem? Once you identify the problems, you come up with solutions, I say, and then state the pros and cons of each of the solution, and then ask them, you guys together as a team, you now make ideas on what you actually want to try. But that is how to analyze problems.
You know, you can actually also make them talk about their what if. For instance, they fought in school and something led to the fight, and then you should ask your child, is there any other way to solve this particular problem without fighting? So it's nice you let them source out solutions.
Look out for different perspectives
To attack a particular problem. Yes, the child will tell you, yes, there are other ways. How? Dialogue. How? Sitting, talking, reporting to the teacher.
There are or a trusted adult.
There are other ways to solve that particular problem without fighting. So it's nice we let our children know the what if is done this way and not that particular
And
way.
there's something I wanted to add. We should observe that those that did well during the COVID pandemic, there are people that had problem-solving skills.
Of course.
Many people were just rooted to, okay, this is how it works. I go to work in the morning, I do this 9 to 5, I do this 9 to 5. And many businesses shut down because they couldn't come up with solutions to the pandemic, you understand? But many businesses that were small, they blossomed because they had people that could come up with rapid solutions that could make the difference and come up with rapid solutions concerning how to solve that problem.
Okay.
Yeah, because then I knew of schools that shut down entirely. I knew of schools that shut down entirely during the COVID. And I also observed there are still schools that did well. Schools that did well during the pandemic. Like then, let's use our institution for instance. Then we had Zoom. I think Zoom was.
We had Edmodo,
Edmodo.
We diversified,
We
anyone that is not giving us what we wanted at that point in time,
we moved to the next. Yes,
immediately.
We weren't really stuck at a particular point because when we try this out, it doesn't work. You try the next thing. Till throughout the pandemic, we were never at home. We were never at home because we still gave out our best to the society.
Well, we made sure we learned everything we were supposed to.
Even
we ensured that we learned.
We exhausted and we started.
And we started looking out for what to do. So
it's
it's going to make a difference if you raise your children to be problem solvers.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we've done justice to that very question, but I would like to say to parents to stop being a helicopter parent.
Helicopter parenting.
Stop being a helicopter parent because you have to give them space.
Exactly.
God created even a little baby with brain. Like, give them space. There are families that you will go to, like you are discussing with the mother, the woman will like be looking at.
Let them cry.
Let something. The person will just run like immediately. Give them space. They should be able to try and fail. And you should encourage them that failure is not the end of the world.
Yes.
They should experience, they should see failure as part of life.
Yes.
That is why you see people, sometimes you see them, I didn't make my jam, they just commit suicide.
Or commit suicide,
Because they don't believe in themselves, they don't have that problem solving skills. They don't know that there are different varieties of ways that you can be what you are meant to be, even without you not getting it. Okay, what if the jam is not working? What if I go for this? Some persons will write WAEC, they won't know that you have to write NECO
or GCE.
Write GCE. They will just be like, they see life as a one-way trafficator. They don't like diversify. The problem-solving skill give you like, as soon as this door is closing, you are seeing
a window.
Immediately,
yes.
You understand? So a child with a problem-solving skill, they don't just get limited. Like I said earlier, once a door is shutting, they are definitely seeing an open window. They are definitely seeing that this way is not working. What if I try it the other way? So another thing is for you to encourage creative play. You should encourage, you have games that you can play at home, like Mr. Former rightly said. You have Rubik's. This Rubik's where you have to rotate and rotate and rotate and rotate.
Chess is also something that is
until
amazing.
you get it around, like every of the colors, right?
Yeah.
Colors will be
They
at
become in the
right,
same pattern.
at the right place and at the right pattern. So, and another thing is that these problem-solving skills, it gives children this, it makes them to grow up to be adults that are patient.
Exactly.
You understand? Like you go to a place now. Let's say you are traveling, you are at the airport. You are waiting for you to catch up with your flight. There are some restless children
Exactly.
that you can never see.
Exactly.
They will be so restless and running helter-skelter. You'll be like, why should it be so?
True, true.
Are they not supposed to sit at a place? Even when the flight is on air, you still see them trying to run,
busy.
like being, and it like, which is not making sense. But once you engage them, they know that time is valuable.
Now-
They know that time is money, that they should make proper use of it at every point in
Now,
time.
sometimes when you are traveling with kids, probably you're making an international trip, you see some children, they'll have to wait for their parents to tell them which gates to go. But there are some children, like, as the person that is handling them the
reading up.
tickets, is handling them tickets, they are telling you, Mommy, we are going to this gate.
Yes.
Mommy, we are going to this gate. You follow this way, you are saying F1, F this or this. They already know this way because they are already thinking. But some people, you just see it's not their business, or even if they're supposed to sit on this seat,
Yeah.
they know maybe it is 23F or something. They just, because
Yeah,
they are able
yeah,
to
yeah,
analyze it, they've been taught to analyze it. But some people, it's not their concern because they expect their parents to
do
think
everything.
for them.
Yeah. And I noticed that children with problem-solving skills, they are good observers.
Exactly.
Like they observe
And
everything.
they actively listen.
They observe everything. Like, let me use the flight issue you talked about. Like a child that is a problem solver is also a critical thinker.
Yes,
You
definitely.
understand? So they make serious observation of their environment. As they are queuing, trying to get their tickets, they are monitoring the person in front of them. From here, where next? They should be able to navigate. They won't be lost and probably like behaving like somebody that didn't even, what do I say? Didn't even suck the mother's breast, let's say. Like they would
JJC.
say, like a JJC, that's a local or like a slang. So they are very, very observant. Like they take notice of their environment and how everything is being done. Yeah. I think we have done great justice to that very question. What are the barriers to raising a child with a problem-solving skills?
Okay, there are plenty barriers ranging from your method of parenting down to fear of failure, but I would want to pick up the fear of failure part because the children we are raising, they are not dummies. God did not just create them to carry their head and be walking around without giving them
Thinking.
brains.
Yeah.
Our generation, in fact, they have that ability to think more. During the 90s, you know, I was born in the 70s. Yes, yes, I was
Wait,
born in
who?
the 70s. Me.
She's the baby of this house. The Gen Zs.
I've said people should stop
The
calling
Gen
me
Zs of this generation.
But
The
then,
Gen-
calm
the
down.
Gen in the
My elder sisters, calm down. Now, then, when we were growing up in the 1950s, you find out.
You are not serious. Don't worry. Everybody will hold.
So, you find out that when you fail, they'll bring mirror and tell you, oh yeah, Chukwemeka, look at your head. How many heads do you have? You say it's one.
The person that got the first
go and show me.
position.
They will not even ask the person. Go and show me the person that got the first position. They will take you to the person. Oh yeah, how many head? One.
First one.
What is inside your own head?
Is it coconut water?
Coconut. Your head is. So when such things are being carried out on children, you find out the child tends to be so scared. Most children will not even show their parents their results anymore.
Yeah, in those days, most times they collect the results.
Before
They
they-
had to rewrite
Uh-uh.
the result or even typect some before taking
Some,
the
if
result
they
home.
tipper, they still have church mind. Some tear their own along the road. And the next
That's
step, on
bad.
the way to the once they did not get that first position,
Yeah,
they will
I
tear
I'd,
it.
I'd always say that children, when you have a child that lies a lot, check yourself.
Exactly.
When you have a child
Exactly.
that lies, oftentimes I see people, they come online, they ask, please, I have a child of so age. The child is always lying. There's nothing I've not done to this child. Why is he always or she always lying? And I'll be like, you are complaining of the child in question. Have you like tried asking yourself, what is that
What
thing
is
I'm doing?
wrong with me? Because
that
you know
is
children
making
learn
the
more
child
observation.
to lie over and over again. You know, a child that you have dialogue with, a child that knows that you wouldn't kill him or her when he or she tells you the truth.
Yeah.
Would always try
Want to tell you
tell
the
you the
truth.
truth at all
And-
times.
There's this adage that says, if a thief goes out to steal, the only place that person can feel comfortable is at home.
He's at home, yeah.
But nowadays, it seems like as if a thief goes out to steal, the only place the person can be comfortable is outside.
He's outside, yeah, because he dare not come
Because they have the fear of home.
home, yeah. Yeah,
It's like tilted the other way. Like if a thief, they're afraid to come home because they're like, my parents have already given up on me. So there's no
Yeah.
need. I'd rather find solution
Exactly.
outside, you understand? I'd
this
rather find comfort.
recent occurrence of people, Miri stuff. I don't know
Exactly.
the English name. The Miri
The
stuff
drugs,
is
drug.
becoming so rampant. And you find out that a child cannot just go and indulge in taking that. Something might have been
Frustration.
bothering the child.
Frustration.
You understand? It's frustration.
And the parents is unable
And
to find
exactly to figure out, or even they don't have anybody to confide in. And maybe you find solace outside, and the outside would, the peer pressure would lead you to stuff like that, and
Yeah.
they end up like ending their lives and wasting their lives.
They
in
think
such
that's the best solution.
manner, yeah.
They think that's the best solution. But then, like something Miss Chika will always do. She will be like, this child failed this thing. Then her next question is, let me see the question. She will bring the question, give it back to you. And you find out that in most cases, those children do
Better than they did earlier. Yeah.
So, fear of it's not even a true test of knowledge. Examination is not really a true test of knowledge.
Yeah.
Now, when
There are
you
some good and bad days.
Of course,
Exactly.
of course,
Exactly.
yeah.
Maybe that child's good.
Yeah.
So if it's the US,
Like it is.
They say it's like they have network failure.
network
Yeah,
failure,
network failure.
the
like
days they are good.
like some days when you go for check all these checkups, they will tell you, this person does not talk in the morning, come back in the afternoon.
afternoon.
And I'll be like, who does that? This person does not talk in the afternoon, talk in the morning.
But it's true.
You know, but it's very true. And like the days of jam, like if you register for jam like this, you honestly be praying, I don't want to fail because my parents will
Kill me.
They will kill me like this. If I fail this jam, my parents will strangle me. Like if you dare, remove
Some
just
of them will tell
drop
you,
one
you are
mark
going to be paying back
below
money.
the
pay back
cutoff
the money.
mark.
Yeah.
Then you are gone.
You are gone.
The-
So
you cannot eat. You cannot even talk. You cannot laugh. In fact, if you are sitting, they are seeing goats. Like you are no more human beings. So it's something every parent should check. Like you don't just see it from the perspective. Even we parents, we adults, we should be problem solvers. And when you are a problem solver, you should be able to see things from different perspectives.
Perspectives.
Like they say, if I write a 9 here, right? Someone here is seeing 9, while the other person there is seeing
You remember the
6.
story of the girl that had the apples and her teacher was like with 4
Exactly.
apples. And he said, how many apples do I have? And
He said,
she was like
5.
5.
And he said, okay.
And they asked her over
they
and
kept
over
asking
again, and
her
she
over
kept
and
saying,
over. And what she
I
said
have
was
5
that,
apples.
I have 5 apples because
Because I
I
have one
in
inside
my
my
Inside my
bag.
bag.
So you don't rule out things
Yeah.
outrightly like that. You don't just say that this thing is not the way it's supposed to be. Look, you are seeing it from your own perspective. Check another person's perspective.
Yeah.
And that is where the teamwork comes to play. Because if you only see things from your own perspective, you won't be able to work in a team. because you would like to be master,
A
jack
boss-
of all
ja-
trades.
master of nothing.
Jack of all trade, where every other person's opinion does not really count or does not really matter. So you should be able to give people that, like, freedom of speech. Should I say it's freedom of speech or freedom of expression? Like, don't just rule out things. See it this way, the other way, and with that, people will be able to come up with a solution to a particular problem. Okay?
Yeah, okay. I was just trying to like make a point on planning. When things happen and you're about like you want to kill this child, but bring it low, work on self-control, and then you and the child plan how. For instance, the academic sector. How do I get better? I can't do it. Don't stop at I can't do it. I can't do it yet. So what's next?
Okay.
I don't understand this. So what
What
next?
next? You don't
Like-
understand it. Should not be a full stop.
Full stop.
Yet. I do
What-
not understand it yet,
Yet.
because you always believe that there is
you can still
something.
do more.
Exactly.
You can do
to
more. So
get
the
better.
fear of failure can actually be a barrier.
A barrier, a very
to
big one.
children learning this
Skill we are talking about
so
today.
when you make them know that failure is normal in life, you as an adult, you fail.
still fail.
You still fail. So
Yeah.
don't make it look as though this failure thing is one big something that once you fail out.
Yeah.
There's a school I attended when I was smaller. I told you in the 1950s. Then
Gen Z.
when you fail, you fail out.
Yeah. In those days.
In other
yeah.
words, it wasn't
fail out.
fail out. It wasn't
It's
encouraging
true,
children
yeah.
to try more, and you will be like
fear
you'll be
will be
working
there.
tooth and nail to make sure that you don't fail out.
Yeah.
So once finally you fail, you are a failure in your home.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I keep saying that there's great need to work on our educational sector, because I have a friend. Her name is Bidemi. She might listen to this podcast like later. She's on my WhatsApp. Bidemi, when we were in school, she doesn't like stressing herself. We went to the same primary school, met in the same secondary school. She doesn't like stressing herself. So when we were in school, she was in the arts class because she felt like those that were in the science. Because when we were in school, there was science, there was commercial, and there was art. So she felt like those people that were in science were the smart, the brainy ones.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, I didn't like the aspect of sharing everybody and not learning everything, because I was somebody that liked to go to literature class, and I also liked accounting, because it was maths. But literature, I love to write. I can write. If it's Miss Nancy said I write rubbish for a living.
Yes.
So I can write, but so I like loved writing, so I used to skip and enter those classes. But Bidemi didn't like to stress herself, so she always felt like she's comfortable in it. But surprisingly, when I went to America in 2018, I saw Bidemi. Bidemi is a pharmacist.
Wow.
How did Bidemi become a pharmacist? From art class to science. She now told me something, that our educational system here,
It's not
normally
giving.
put somebody like it to put you
Yeah.
down. You just feel like
Emotional torture.
yes, give you this emotion. You won't want to try it out, because there are already some people that they are hailing.
Exactly.
There are already some people that they are giving this credit for. And believe me, it's like she even has a doctorate in pharmacy now. So, and I'm like, Bidemi, how did you transition from
being
arts?
an art
Because
student
she was always like, she don't even want to.
science,
She doesn't want to
and
be a
not
lawyer.
just being
Like
a
she just
science
wants to be a, what did she say? She said she just wants to be a newscaster.
Oh.
So she wasn't stressing herself at all. And then all of a sudden, Bidemi is a pharmacist, and she's doing so well in Atlanta. So I'm like, okay, Bidemi, how did you do it? How did you do it? And she was like, this.
How possible is that?
She was just like this the way we are studying in Nigeria. It doesn't
Yeah.
give children this, because you will not see somebody that will come and select. Even they will still leave secondary school, they will leave high school, they will still go to college that they do before university, and you see them that they don't even get to pick. You still be doing everything. Then the last moment is the time you now say, okay,
now switch
I want to
to-
do this in university. You understand? But there,
And by that time, you're mature.
you are matured. You're like 18.
Yeah.
You're like
So
18,
they're
but
not
then you are
very
forcing somebody at the age of 13
13.
to decide what the person wants to
Exactly,
do.
yeah.
Which the person has not given the person has not failed, and
Yes.
the child is not yet resilient. And also, our family culture is something that stands in the way.
Yeah.
Our family culture, some families don't even have culture. Some people don't even have culture. Talk more of that. Some people's culture is actually very toxic. There's so much toxicity in their family, so they feel like if they fail, it's over for them. Like if they fail, it's they'll kill them. So there's no need trying out. So that is how we do not raise problem solvers. There's no like all these things. They are the barriers to problem solving skills.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I'll add to this last question of ours. I would say that one of the problems or one of the barriers we have in raising a problem solver is lack of motivation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We should be able to motivate our children. Like, we shouldn't condemn them. No human being is perfect. Nobody is a monopoly of knowledge. You don't just compare. Can't you see your sister? Can't you see your brother? Can't you see he's doing this? Can't you see? Everybody has their strengths and their weakness. So you should be able to identify your child's strengths and the child's weakness and work on both of them. Work on both of them. That is why you are the parents.
Yeah.
That is why God created you before bringing that child into this world. You understand? So we should try and motivate them. Whenever, if you have a child that maybe is not like really there, try and see the good side of that child.
Exactly.
And try to, commend him or her.
Yeah.
When you commend a child in that manner, the child would always have hope. You build up the person's hope. Oh, so something good can actually come out of me.
Yes.
You understand? So the child will be striving hard to do more. But when you just condemn a child, you are killing that child, not only emotionally, physically, and otherwise. So lack of motivation is really a barrier.
Because sometimes, even in our PTC,
Yeah.
we often meet some when we have PTCs in our school, parent teachers conference. We all like that's a one-on-one interaction.
meeting,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we often meet parents that we have to tell them that, oh, your child is so good with mathematics,
Yeah.
and there's need to focus.
For you to-
Yeah, for you to channel that energy,
Energy, yeah.
you pass down to math and channel it to other because you can see
subjects.
some children. Thank God for our school that does mental maths. You can see some children like they can calculate the figures
Immediately.
here.
But one thing is that when
you now
give
say
them to
write
solve,
it
they
down,
make mistakes.
yeah, exactly. So once you notice that aspect, you have to dig into the child,
Yeah.
understand that there's a good part of that child. You notice the aspect, then you now try to bring it and harness to the other side. You understand? And tell the person, okay, you are able to do it here. Can you bring it down to this place? You understand? Because in life we have those people that come up with ideas. We have those people that their job is to move and run with the ideas.
Exactly, yeah.
That's why collaboration is necessary.
It's very
because
important.
you can be somebody that is able to move with ideas,
Prefer solutions.
prefer solutions,
But you won't carry it.
but you will not
like
have,
to the
but
end.
you are not able to come up with it, and you won't carry it to the end.
To the
You have some
end,
people that
yeah.
can run with the thing and carry it to the end.
Yeah.
You even have some people that are good connectors.
Yeah.
They can like
I
get
know,
you people.
I know who can do this. I know
Yes,
who
they
can
can
do
get
that.
you
I
people.
know,
So that's why teamwork is very necessary. As much as we talk of in problem solving skills, teamwork is necessary, collaboration is necessary, critical thinking is necessary, creativity is necessary. The ability to research, like it's good for every child to, because sometimes you see some children when they want to go on holiday, like you tell a child you are going to Dubai, that child has already stayed here and research every beautiful places in
Yeah,
all the
in
beautiful places in Dubai.
Yeah.
But some people they're just like, oh, they say we are going to Dubai.
The
Let
day
us
now,
enter.
the day we'll go
The day we'll go today.
Yeah.
But your child should be able to tell you all about Dubai even before
Yeah.
you get there.
Yeah.
So that's it. So that's how you raise problem solvers.
Okay, another barrier we have is lack of resources.
Okay.
Lack of resources. There are some parents that they want to raise a problem solver, but they don't know which way to it.
Even information.
And the lack of information, lack of knowledge,
Yeah.
they are all embedded in one. So lack of resources is something that has limited a lot of people. They don't even know that it's just for someone to see someone that will guide you and tell you that these are the things you need to get.
You need.
They
You
don't
know,
know that it's like
it's-
a diamond in the rough.
Exactly, that is not even about you traveling
Having
or
so much.
having so much or doing this. Even in your houses, you can there are people, okay, I've been in a situation where I saw a child in primary 6, a child like a child going to school without shoes or something. The child was going to school with a slipper or something. And I asked, why are you wearing this? I said, my mommy could not find my shoe. At that age, you know, and you should obviously know that the child, that the parents don't really know much about raising a child who is a problem solver. Because at that age, the child should be able to, come on, a child in primary 6 should be close to 10 or 10 years. So telling me that you could not wear shoe to school because your mom didn't find your shoe is a failure, is a no-no. Now, what are those things you need to do in order to, like, make that child involved and create that skills? I talked about that available resources. You can get games like Rubik. And recently I saw online where a child, a frame, is something that you can even give to a carpenter for him or her to construct for you. A frame where they have openings with something like this bottle,
like
different colors. Yes, you know, the child, that's different colors. You got to move it, and the child was crying. The child I saw in that video was actually crying, trying to navigate, because if you move it to this point, and there is this game we played when we were small, a kind of rectangular, or maybe sometimes they will draw frozen or do ABCD, where you have to move this one, a kind of puzzle.
Okay.
It's a kind of puzzle where you have to move until everything.
You said I'm Gen Z, so I did not see that. I didn't see the game.
So when games like that are very, very important, and you should not like.
Don't take away games from children.
Games is very, very important. It teaches a lot. Like, it teaches a whole lot, and we should learn to inculcate it. Let it be part of our family culture.
Yeah. Okay, when you said
that money you used to go to Kilimanjaro, buy corn dogs, buy churros, buy chin chin, buy shawarma, buy pizza, and all those things. Please cut down on it.
Buy games.
Invest in games. We talked about financial literacy the last time, so they should be able to strike a balance. As they are feeding their stomach, they should also feed their brain, because it's very, very important.
Exactly. You know, when you said
you know when you're talking about investing games, many parents are a lot bothered about having a hefty child than they are bothered about what is entering.
Exactly, that's the problem, and that's what we are facing in this generation. Okay, from the beginning I talked about a guy that saved the day in Anambra. Yes. The guy, like in a very big street like this, all of a sudden there was a fire outbreak. And others were, even adults, were running helter-skelter. They couldn't provide any solution. Then the boy quickly remembered that they gave them emergency numbers to call in Anambra. He quickly ran into the house, picked up a telephone, called the fire service. So the guy quickly went into the house, picked up a telephone, called the fire service. All of a sudden, like from nowhere, they came, and everything became
the situation
like,
was...
and they didn't even know that it was a little child that really. So after much later, like the news now circulated. Now the boy became a hero. They were now carrying him. Look at the child that saved us.
He became famous.
It's a bragging right.
Yeah.
Yes, to the school, to the parents. You know, so it's something that every child should have, because all these people going around it, you see people, they don't have work. When there are so many things to do.
Exactly.
There are so many things to do.
For example, the reason why we are discussing this
the price of fuel is quite expensive now. But it just takes one person to come up with a solution. And it's because outside the country they are using bicycles, and those bicycles are being hired and everything. It takes one person to just come up with a solution.
Yeah, anyone that comes, we just
exactly. One person
on
come up with a solution, and then
if you don't write
that's
it.
It's and it just takes one person to come up with a solution of even electric cars, and then we are going that way.
Okay, guys, we've come to the end of today's podcast. But before that, we didn't get to introduce ourselves from the beginning of this podcast. So let's quickly do that. I'll start from my humble self. I am Mrs. Nancy
Are you really humble?
Ogachukwu.
Are you really humble?
Of course, I am.
She should be the Gen Z
very,
of this
very,
group. Like, yeah.
very humble. I repeat, my humble self, Mrs. Ogachukwu Nancy Okpo. Okay, here with me we have.
They should be peppering me with Mrs. Don't worry. I'm Miss Ifoma. Oh God, when? Never mind. It will phase. Someday they will come for my wedding.
Yes.
My wedding, and they'll be the women of the day.
Women.
Women. Sorry, they said
women.
Oral said it's women. Women of the
Women
day.
of the day.
So please, I am Miss Ifoma Ogazi. I'm humble too. Thank you.
My name is
Mommy.
my name is Mrs. Chika Agu. I don't know if I'm humble. I cannot say my humble self. My humble self, Mrs. Chika Agu. Yeah, I just have two names, Chika Agu. Yeah.
I know the other.
Thank you.
Don't let me. Don't let me
Thank you.
Say. Do not let me say. Okay,
Thank you.
guys,
Till we
welcome
meet you
to
next.
End Up
Thank
Today's
you.
podcast. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.